Welcome to Regents Review homework number 4. Number 1, which table of values represents a linear relationship? Well, remember, linear means constant rate of change. So what we're looking for is something that is either adding or subtracting by the same amount each time. All right. I've went through and I found that f of x here is the one that is constantly adding 7 each time. So our answer for number 1 is answer choice 1. Number 2, the inequality is equivalent to, well, what that means is we need to solve this inequality. So we are going to set it up exactly like an equation and go through the process exactly like an equation. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw my 2 lines down, and I'm going to get all the variables to one side. So I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. Everything else gets brought down, including the inequality symbol. All right, and now I'm going to do 1/2 minus 2. All right, so alpha y equals, to get the fraction, 1/2 minus 2 is -3/2. Now I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. So I get -3/2 x is less than -9, and divide both sides by -3/2. Now remember, when we divide or multiply by a negative in an inequality on both sides, we have to flip the sign. So now I'm going to do -9 divided by alpha y equals -3/2. And we get 6. So we're looking for x is greater than 6, which is answer choice 4. Number 3 is a little bit different than what we've seen. The graph of a linear equation, so again, constant rate of change, contains the points -4, -12, and 10, -5, which point also lies on the graph. And we're looking when x is 8. All of those answer choices have x is 8. So what we're going to do first is we are going to find the slope of the line. All right, so we're going to make our mini table, -4, -12, and 10, -5, and we're going to find our slope. So remember, we're subtracting up, and it's always y's over x's. So -5 minus -12 over 10 minus -4. All right, when we get this, and we can type this right into our calculator, all right, we get 1/2. All right, so that means in the table, as we move down, we add 1/2. All right, however, we need to work backwards to get to x equals 8. It's easier to work backwards because we have the value when x is 10. All right, we know that that's -5, so we need to move backwards once, twice. All right, so -5 minus 1/2 is -5.5, and then minus 1/2 again gets us to -6. So we're looking for the point 8, -6, which is answer choice 3. Oops. Okay, number 4. The length of a rectangle is 3 feet less than twice its width. That's super important. If x represents the width of the rectangle, so here we can already fill out this top part. The width, we want to say that that's x, and the length is in that question above, or in that sentence. Which inequality represents an area of the rectangle that is at most 30 square feet? So at most means it can be less than or it can be equal to 30, but it can't be more than that. So we're looking for an inequality that's got less than or equal to 30. So I'm going to get rid of 2 and 4 as answer choices. Okay. Now we need to decide what 3 feet less than. So 3 feet less than means -3, and twice its width means 2 times its width. All right, so my length is 2 times the width, which is x, and then -3. All right, so we're looking for x and 2x minus 3, which is answer choice number 1 here. Also, we remember that our area of a rectangle is length times width, or 2x minus 3 times x. But we can write it in opposite order because multiplication is commutative. Number 5, last weekend, Emma sold lemonade at a yard sale. The function p of x represented the profit Emma earned selling C cups of lemonade. Okay, so our rate of change is the price or the profit per lemonade. Sales were strong, so she raised the price for this weekend by 25 cents per cup. So our current price is our slope, and that is our 50 cents per cup. We're going to increase it by 25 cents. So we are going to add 25 cents to the current price. So our new current price per cup is 75 cents. Did we do anything to change our starting value? No, we didn't. So we want the starting value to be the same, but we want an increase in the slope. So answer choice number 4. Number 6, our final question is to graph this function. Now this kind of looks a little bit crazy. All right, we have not really dealt with something like this. What we're going to do is take our first function, and we're going to put it into y equals, so negative 1/2 x. And we want all of the numbers in the table of values to be less than 2. So I'm going to end my table at 2. Okay. So 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and so on. It's going to keep going in that direction. I'm also, at the same time, needing to graph y equals x, but when x is greater than or equal to 2. So that means I'm going to start at 2 here. And it keeps that going. Okay, this does not give us a start and an end. It just tells us our start. Okay. So now let's go into our calculator. And we're going into y equals. Alpha y equals negative 1 over 2 x. All right, and let's look at the table. All right, and we want to start at 2. So my first one is negative 1, and then I'm just going to do my whole number values. So negative 1, 0, and 1. So negative 1, 0, 1, and then our next one is actually 2. All right. Up next, we have to graph y equals x. All right, and when y equals x, that just gives us the same value back. All right. Now I'm going to graph this quickly because you guys are about to come in. So we've got an open circle here because just less than is an open circle. So at 2, negative 1 is an open circle, and then I'm going to keep graphing in my pattern. All right. Next up is y equals x, starting at 2. So 2, 2, that's a closed circle. All right. So that's there. And then we're going to keep on graphing. March 13th at the health office, but you need to sign up, so see the nurse immediately. All right. Great day. Sorry for the announcements during that. Okay, that's it. That's what your graph would look like.